Hello everyone, welcome to this course. In today's course, we'll be talking more on AutoCAD, the definition of AutoCAD, the key features of AutoCAD, the common uses of AutoCAD, and we'll be explaining how we can set up our AutoCAD interface and the different files and templates that we have in AutoCAD. So what is AutoCAD? AutoCAD is a computer-aided design software developed by Autodesk. It is widely used by an architect, an engineer, a drafter, and designers to create a precise 2D and 3D drawings and models. The key features of AutoCAD comprises of the 2D drafting, the 3D modeling, the annotation tools, the layouts, and the customization aspect of it. When we have the scripts and plugins or some add-ons that will be imported into AutoCAD. The 2D drafting is about creating floor plans, elevations, sections, and other detailed drawings for your constructions, for your projects, for any things that deal with 2D and 3D. Also for the 3D modeling aspects, it deals with virtualizing structures, parts, and assemblies of dimensions, of 3 dimensions. That's your X, Y axis, your X, Y, and Z axis. Also, we have the annotation tools. This is just about adding your dimensions, text, your labels to your drawing. We also have layers. It's about organizing and reuse design elements efficiently. Then the customization tool is adding plugins or scripts to your design. So what are really common use of AutoCAD? It is used for architectural floor plan and building layouts. It is used for engineering design, especially for mechanical parts, for electrical parts, for civil design, for construction design. Then also infrastructures like roads, bridges, and piping systems. So if you really want to set up your AutoCAD, what are the interface, what are the templates you need to use? What are the things you need to consider while setting up your interface? Now, if I want to set up this interface for a new drawing now, I have to come to this start drawing. But I'm not going to press this drawing because I need a template to use. In our measurement system, we have the metric system, we have the imperial system. The metric system talks more about the use of millimeters and meters and centimeters. But the imperial system is the use of inches and feet. But in this project now, in this course, we are going to use the metric system. That's why I have to select the template here. Now for your metric system, you need to select Acadiso DWT. That's for your metric system. For 2D. For the 3D, you pick Acadiso 3D.dwt. But for your Imperial, you pick Arcade.dwt. And for the 3D of Imperial, you pick Arcade 3D.dwt. This is to enable you to be able to set up your interface easily and without stress. So for the sake of this course, I'm going to pick Acadiso DWT. And once I click it, the whole interface opens. Now ensure that all these plugins are showing in your interface. As you are doing it currently, ensure all these ribbons are being shown in your interface. If this is not showing, you have to reload your system. You have to reload your software and open it again. That's very important because there are some PC that will not be compatible for AutoCAD, and it's at the same time will be lagging. So you have to ensure that all these interfaces are opening very well. So this is the AutoCAD. You've been able to open the AutoCAD now. So what we need to do now is to do a little setting up, then we'll move to the next course. The setting up we really need to do is to confirm our unit and to set up our dimension. If you really want to set up your unit now, you have to, there's a command to units. You have to ensure that the position is set at 0. Then you have to ensure that this is in millimeter because I'll be using millimeter for this project. But in case you want to use meter, centimeter, you can actually use it. So I'll close this Then the other thing I need to do now is to go to my dimension style, DIMSTY, dimension style. This is where you can set up your dimension efficiently. Now once this pop up, we have 3 default template there, and you just have to pick one and edit one. I'm going to pick this Acadiso. I'm going to pick this ISO.25, and I'm going to modify it. It's an existing. It should be on your own interface as well. So I'm going to change my line. Remember, this modification deals with dimension line only, dimension line, dimension text only. So I want to ensure that my dimension line, the line weight is 0.0. Yeah, that's the thickness. Then same thing as the extension line. This is the difference between this dimension line and extension line is this is the dimension line itself. This is the extension line. What you use to extend out is the extension line. So I want this and this, and the allow weight to be 0.00. After that, I will move to symbol and arrow. This symbol and arrows are what identifies your dimensions, like you see here now, from arrow to arrow. But if I really want to change it now, I can change it to dots. So to change from the first and the second is dots. So you can see dots and dots. I can actually change it to architectural tick. Can you see? And if you want one side to be architectural tick, one side to be dots, you can actually change it and to go like this. Then your leader head, if you want your leader head to be dots, this is leader. This is an example of leader. It will be dots. So what other thing do we need to, okay, increase your arrow size to like 100. You can still come back to change it if you discover that they are not up to the standard you want. Then this is the text appearance, and we are going to set this text size. I'm going to change the font to, I do like Montserrat a lot, but in case you don't have Montserrat, you can pick any text font that is okay by you. I'll pick Montserrat medium, and I'll make sure that they are not italics. I don't want italics. Then I'll set the height, that's the text size, like 100. Yes, close. Then I'll make sure that this is in alignment. Then I'll make sure that these are set as it is here. Vertical should be above, that's your text placement. Can you see? It should be above the line. Then it should be centered, not one side, not one side. If I put it at one extension line now, you see that here now is going to one side. If I put it at extension 2, it's going to the other side. But I want it to be centered. That's what makes it perfect placement, text placement. So I will always, you can use any of these two, but I prefer left to right. That's the view dimension direction of your text. So now for fit, I have to leave this at either text or arrow fit. That's if there isn't enough room to place both text and arrow inside dimension line. The first thing to move outside the extension line is, so you can use either text or arrow, but you can use your text, or sorry, you can use arrow to be the first thing to move outside the text. Anyone, but for the sake of this, I'm going to use this. Then primary unit, make sure it's in decimal, leave it in decimal, but the precision should be 0, so that you have a perfect and round figure. I don't really need this. This one is talking about you having displacement, alternative units in your text. Maybe you want to have alternative units alongside, you can have it there. But for the sake of this class, I'm not going to do that. So after I've set all these things, I close it, then make sure that I set it as current, so that it will be the active dimension style that I'll be using in my drawing. So after that, I close that. So that's how to set your interface. That's the first stage of setting up your interface. Ensure you do this. If you didn't get it, repeat the videos and watch again. In our next videos, we'll be talking on how to make use of these tools, the drawing tools, the modification tools, the annotation, the layers, the properties, the group, the utilities, the keyboard, the clipboard, and some other components. See you again.